working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights and the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights and the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights and the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community.
A pleasant good evening from the headquarters of the Liberian National Police, and welcome to the Police Dialogue. We apologize for coming a little late, but better still, we are here to bring you this most important program coming from the Liberian National Police. And today we are going to discuss the achievement of the Liberian National Police under the leadership of Honorable Gregory O.W. Coleman, and he is the Inspector General of the Liberian National Police. And today I'm here in studio with my co-host, ACP Samuel G. Ford, and we'll also be joined from the United States of America, Henry Bacon, as we go through the accomplishment of the LNP under Inspector General Coleman. Ford, it's good to have you back on the Police Dialogue.
Thank you so much, DCP Sam Collins. And to our listening audience, it's a pleasure once again to be here on this great show to be able to give you some important information with regards to the achievement of the Liberian National Police.
You know, it's a lengthy discussion because we believe that a lot has been achieved for the last 2 years.
Definitely, a lot have been achieved, and that is why we need to give the information to the public, because you know that the police work for the public. So with regards to what we have done over the period of time under the leadership of Honorable IGP Coleman is very important for...
So if you are following the show, please share the show. Make sure you give your comments, and we want to have more people coming on the show before we get into our discussion this afternoon, because we don't want you missing anything. A lot, like Ford said, a whole lot has been achieved on Honorable Gregory Coleman for the last 2 years, and I think that we can attribute this to the willingness of the team to work. I'm talking about all of the political appointees that the president appointed around the current Inspector General, and I think he has exhibited some level of leadership, and that is why I believe that is why these results are coming in.
Of course, you have said it right, Seb. The issue of teamwork, is the most important aspect in leadership. When you have a team that is supportive, you have a team that is together, working together for one goal and aspiration, definitely we're going to achieve what you want to do. But if you have a divided team, sometimes it can be a very, very difficult task.
Yeah.
Well, at the level of the LMP, we give half some to the leadership of the Liberian National Police, from the IGP with his able lieutenants. I think they are doing tremendously well with regards to the goals of the LMP achievement.
The Bible says that divided house cannot stand.
No, it can never stand.
Share the show. Cardi share the show.
Sure.
Cardi share the show as we wait him back on to come out, because we don't want to leave anybody behind in this fascinating discussion that is coming up. So back on, if you are following the show from where you are, you can rejoin us so that we can commence this all-important program. Cardi share the show. We are asking all of our fans around the world, the country you're following us from, just send the show to all of your favorite chat rooms, to all of your favorite groups, so that we can have a good number of people listening to the discussion and giving their own contribution. And we believe that, I strongly believe that leadership is not by age. And some people believe that is a trick that comes from God.
That's a debate over the period of time.
Yeah, that has been a leadership debate.
Some debated that leadership is a learn, it's an art, but it left for which kind of philosophy one follow. To me, within our mind, people are saying they are born leader, are made leader, are made leader, are born. Coming from the traits, from the biological aspect of human race, they put it in that perspective. But how be it, I think it depends on the person who is in control.
Yeah.
Where they have come from, where they have grown from, where they have been made through, the rudiments of leadership, the transformational aspect and the learning process, it can also be able to move you where you want to go, and where you want to be at the end of the day. Yes.
But I also believe that you can have a good leader, but that leader can change over time, depending on the team that he's playing on. So the team too has either a positive or negative effect on the leader.
Definitely, because teamwork in leadership, is a kind of a leadership style, that encompasses everybody, because there is no one with all capacity, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has their scope of expertise when it comes to what he or she is supposed to do within a particular domain where you are being assigned. So once we be able to tap on the expertise of people's skills, they can be able to deliver, because nobody knows it all. Remember, no one is an island.
Yes,
so it's very important that we tap on the skills and expertise of individuals who are working in places to be able to give their own expertise support. People feel, because most often, if you think I can do it all on my own, I can do it all by myself, sometimes it becomes a serious issue, it becomes a gap, because a leader will never learn, if he thinks that he knows every other thing. So we have to now divide the spectacle to be able to give people their roles of expertise, and then you'll find the job going very, very well. And I think that is what is happening right now, and that's why we see the transformation. That's why we see improvement, and achievement within the Liberian National Police architecture.
Thank you, Ford, and thank you to all those who have joined the show 7 days. He joined the show from Greenville, Sano County, And we also have Gayport J. Somasian. He also joined the show, and he's there from his home in Caldwell. Other people are on the show also. Continue to share the show, and as we get into this all-important discussion today, we're looking at the achievement of the Liberian National Police for the last 2 years, 2024, 2025. What has the NNP achieved under the leadership of Gregory O.W. Coburn? To start the discussion, we'll look at national security, public safety, and election support.
Yeah, so if you look at other national security, public safety, and election, we know that the LNP has been going through some level of work within a period of time since the Honorable Inspector General of Police took over. There have been some by-election, for example, which is another important event, when it comes to national security.
Because the way you manage it.
Yeah. Because the way you manage it. So the issue of electoral processes is very cardinal, which of course, it comes with a lot of challenges. It comes with vigor from the people, so they require the security to be able to play her role and responsibility in a transparent way and manner that will bring harmony and peace within that particular area.
And that is what made the successful the Liberian National Police under the watch of Honorable Gregory Coburn was able to successfully secure the by-election in Nima and Grand counties in 2024. And the senatorial and District 5 by-election in Nima County. Those are highly contested elections.
Very contested, because if you know Nima County and Granger, those are largest areas of population within the 15 political subdivision of our country. So moving from that backdrop, it tells you that it will require the kind of manpower support and the kind of measure professionalism from the officer, discipline from officer to be able to earmark those electoral processes. So we think that handling electoral issue is very germane and cardinal to the process of safety and security.
Yeah, and it has to be an achievement because that election centered around the late Prince Johnson, Prince Y. Johnson, former senator of Nima County, and having somebody to replace him. That was a heavily contested election, and many people thought that the LNP did not have the capacity. I don't know what people want to believe, that after you have secured an election, a presidential election, then somebody says, hey, you guys cannot make it with the Nima election because it's highly contested. But under the watch of the IGP, we were able to conduct that election, and it went peaceful forward. Yeah,
very peaceful. And hats on to the team of officers. We all play our role and responsibility within those areas. Officers were professional, in
290 officers.
Officers were professional in exercising their, constitutional mandate with all fear and favor. So that brought, sanity and peace to the loving people of Nima County and Grand County, which of course the most talk about electoral process at the time, the by-election. So election is not something that we can take for granted everywhere. Even at the community level, as I speak, what is even unfolding at the community level, we can even equate it to national level election right now.
Yeah, sure.
So because we've been there in the vanguard and we understand how electoral issues have been processed. Now that those days, those days election process for the grassroots, people will just stay, have a meeting, aroused to nominate XYZ person to become the chairperson or this. And somebody says second emotion.
I took care of a community election commission chair, and I can tell you that I will never venture into it. But there is no small election.
So
let's look at another thing that the Coleman administration did by the reintroduction of the ambulance system at the Liberian National Police. How do you see it? I see it as a very marvelous achievement to reintroduce the ambulance system.
Yes, we think that it is an achievement because, police render services to people, and it encompasses a different aspect of services. For example, when there is an accident scene, for example, in a particular vicinity within probably the suburbs or Monrovia or somewhere else, how, effective is the police in trying to render our services to be able to get our victim to quickly respond to hospital. You know, I mean, years back it was a challenge. You know, sometimes people die in the process before you can even get an ambulance, because we have ambulance services that are not sufficient actually. Even though we don't have enough, but I think from the aspect of what we have now, it have making some real transformation with regards to public safety, with regards to picking people from the street when it comes, even sickness, people who are sick.
It even help us with our community policing. Because the last time I was monitoring the police radio, and NOC were trying to direct the ambulance into one of the community because our lady was in labor.
Sure.
And so that family is not going to forget about the police.
And that's the essence of the ambulance services. You know, if you have those kind of services that is being deployed, you know, in every part of Monrovia, even in the suburbs or in the hinterland, I think it would be a tremendous work to be able to, you know, save more lives in terms of, you know, scene of accident, in terms of people, sick and what have you. So those services are rendered. So we think that at that level of the LMP, rescue is up there at JFK. He's the head of the service, and he's doing well, moving around. You know, he received calls on a daily basis from the public, from the community, and people are responding to those events that happen. And we think it is an achievement for that.
It is because it's an achievement not only for the men in uniform, but people outside of the police department and their family, because like you previously said, when an accident occurs and people get injured, and sometimes you find it difficult to put somebody who blood oozing from them into another person, a private citizen vehicle. So the ambulance system or the ambulance service being introduced by the Liberia National Police, we think that is a milestone achievement by the Liberia National Police, and we say kudos to the Coleman administration, all of its deputies, and all of them have their hands on deck, making sure that they provide service delivery to the people of Liberia. Police service is not just about standing at a checkpoint or running behind armed robbers. Police service is far beyond that. Medical, the ambulance service that we're talking about, even providing feeding, even getting into community services, the cleanup campaign. Those are some of the services that the police render the community, because, like somebody said the last time on the show, the police are from the community, and the community also make up the police. So that look at fleet expansion, logistics, and mobility.
No, before you talk about that, let's look at the open 2 new police depots within some of the hinterland.
In Newtown, Toastown. That should be in Toastown. I think Grange there. So the Coleman administration was able to build 2 additional police depots, because as the population expands, police services are needed. So I think it was a milestone achievement. So that because we need to have the ratio of police to citizen.
And moreover, Sam, it introduced what we call access to justice. You know, and it also creates the bond between police and citizen, because if you have police station, it's another form of community policing. You know, that is being strategically posted to areas, you know, especially crime breeding communities or area. It makes it very easier for citizens to have easy access to police, you know, in terms of deterrence, in terms of detecting crimes and social disorder. So it creates that bond and relationship between the police and that of the community. So police substation in various communities is very cardinal within, you know, community policing approach with regards to law enforcement.
So we say kudos to the administration for being thoughtful on the people of Tuertown and UBA, Newtown, to expand coverage in underserviced areas. And also there is the police dialogue, and today we're looking at the LMP achievement under the last 2 years, and the kind of a leadership that Honorable Gregory Coleman has been able to provide to the people of Liberia and yield to the men under his control. We'll now move over to fleet expansion, logistics, and mobility. The issue of fleet is very cardinal. The public has labeled the LNP as a group of people or an institution that does not able that does not have the capability to manage fleet. But for the last 2 years, we have been able to bring in 64 vehicles between 2024 to 2025, including 20 operational vehicles, as you can see on the screen, to Ford.
Definitely, and I think this is has some to the Honorable Inspector General of Police. You know, visionary leaders, we have to think in this direction. Like I always say to people, you know, in some of my discussion, the issue of security is very cardinal expensive, especially in post-conflict environment like Liberia. You know, it's very essential, and again. You can be the well-trained person, even from Harvard. You know, for example, you are a medical doctor. You are trained in one of the best university. You know, if you come back to be able to contribute, and then you don't have the requisite tools, you know, and logistics to be able to work, you will never make it. A patient will die for a very simple issue that's supposed to require, you know, some support with, you know, the kind of tools to use, you know, to carry on that surgery or whatever. So, same with the police. If you have the requisite logistics, like you see the motorbike, the vehicle, fleet of vehicle, and whatever, it have boost the institutional morale, and moreover, it have, instill what we call the issue of patrol, vehicle patrol, foot patrol, those kind of ways, you know, community policing initiative between the police and the community. It brings about the reduction of crime. It brings, it breeds what we call public trust and confidence. It also breeds, community safety. You know, take for example my session now. You know, over years, you know, community policing. You know,
now you have been in power. Let the video keep rolling so that our audience and our viewers can see exactly what we're talking about. We are currently discussing the achievement of Honorable Gregory Coleman and his administration as it relates to fleet expansion, logistics, and mobility. So let the video keep rolling so that those who are following the show can see exactly what we're talking about. So let me read what we have here. Increased NMP fleet by 64 vehicles between 2024 and 2025, including 20 operational vehicles in 2024. 19 additional specialized vehicles funded 2025. Then we got 8 new riot control vehicles, and those 8 riot control vehicles were on the screen for our viewers to see. And it said other administrative and patrol vehicles were also acquired. Received 525 pieces of tactical gear from the Brooklyn Park Police Department in Minnesota, including SWAT equipment, ballistic helmets, and square car tools.
You know, one of the things I really admire the Honorable Inspector General of Police is his willingness to go out there and lobby on behalf of the institution. I mean that shows visionary, you know, leadership. That shows that somebody who have the institution heart, you know, to go out there and to be.
So these are the tactical people that we mentioned.
To be able to, you know, meet with partners and have friends around, you know, expressing interest, to be able to support and give some level of logistical support. We think it is very laudable in that direction. You know, what the Inspector General of Police is doing, going around, you know, lobbying and having some friendly environment, you know, creating the avenue for police officers. We're going to go back to training, which is also earmarked here.
And another thing, ACP Ford, like I said at the opening, the public have always judged, or not as a group, as an institution, not being able to take care of equipment supply, like the vehicle that are currently on the screen. But I think that the fleet management policy instituted by the Inspector General's team is one of the most stringent fleet management policy that Liberia can actually boast of. So for the last 2 years, we have been able to manage the vehicle, and the public have given us some accolade as it relates to how we have been able to manage public vehicles or the police vehicle for the benefit of the country and the benefit of our officers.
I think it is moving, I mean, in the rightful direction. And like you said, you know, having the vehicle is not a thing. Well, how well do you manage
it?
You know, there have been preconceived notion already that we can manage. LMP cannot manage vehicle. But look at since the formation of these vehicles and the kind of stringent measures that have been put in place. You know, with the fleet, you have people responsible. Driver have to sign.
Yeah.
You have to be well. I mean, well unified, uniform to be able to drive any other vehicle. Every vehicle must have a driver. You know, a signed driver. In the IGP, with this motorbike be deployed in rural Liberia or whatever, and he said exactly, he was just looking for the official turnover, and I think this bike gonna be distributed in accordance with, the fleet management policy, and to give our people in the lead world, you know, the kind of services they have to be provided with regards to community policing, mainly in a rural area, and this bike will actually help to ease the tension of transportation and to respond to situations as it unfolds within those areas.
One of the things that we need to give credit to this administration is their capacity to lobby.
Yeah.
We're talking about 525 pieces of tactical gear from the Brooklyn Park Police Department in Minnesota. That is no joke. It takes somebody with a negotiation skill.
Yeah.
It takes somebody who has a way to lobby it.
Yeah.
And I think that RGB Coleman and his team have been good on that front.
Yeah, that is exactly the same. That's what I said from the initial. You know, if you have a leader who want to see the future of the institution move forward, and not looking at himself, because there's an institutional issue.
Yeah.
So if he go out there to be able to lobby it with partners, other police departments like the Brooklyn Park, you know, bringing in tactical gears, you know, for our officer, especially from the FPU level, you know, it breeds a level of, you know, a trust. It gives morale, and it even gave public safety attention from the public. Because the more police officer is well equipped, if you have a well equipped police force, crime will be actually reduced.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing before we go to the next aspect of the discussion is the issue of the honor men being served first.
Yeah.
When I see the vehicles and I see the motorcycles and station Ford, and you've been following, you are deeply involved with community service.
Yeah.
I want you to comment on that. So
one of the things, in accordance with our reform and restructuring processes of the LMP when Ome was here, you know, they mainly focus on, you know, certain key areas within the Liberian National Police, which is very germane to the public, because public consumption, you know, public safety, and is very key. So they look at the professional standard division, you know, which is one of the cardinal areas within any professional law enforcement institution to be able to balance. You know, because you must be able to balance, you know, police.
And to our viewers, our professional standard division being modernized under the leadership of the Inspector General. Go ahead, Ford.
This is where the public domain lies.
Okay.
When we have officers who go against their ethics, against the public, against a civilian, because he or she feels that he's a policeman, that he's law and gospel unto the law. You know, so when you have situation of such, where do you go to report such incidents? The necessary checkpoint have been erected under the leadership of the Inspector General of Police. You know, where you have zero tolerance when it comes to the issue of unethical behavior of police officer. So the professional standard division of the Liberian National Police that have been refurbished to a modernized area, you understand, because the condition was not too good from the first beginning. So the IGP being very wise to prioritize this. Because even when Ome were here, the initiative on Ome, they were looking at community policing, the issue of, you know, professional standard. So this area is where the public seek information and redress when it comes to the issue of misconduct against police officer. So we think that this is a laudable achievement for the public. This is for the public, you know, that people who fall short against police ethics, people who go against the principle of policing, human rights and what have you, you come directly right here. It's right beside the LMP HQ, where you can come and report your complaint. If you are at the legal area, there are also professional standard officer being assigned to legal county in various zones and depot. You can lodge your complaint. And this is what we've been saying over the period of time, that some people will say, oh, you need to test the justice system.
Yeah.
You know, and here we don't tolerate the issue of bias and whatever. We have the civilian complaint bureau and we have the professional standard division. Those two areas are areas wherein is independent. That's why they report directly to the Inspector General of Police. The head of that area report directly to the Inspector General of Police. It does not go through any chain level, because we don't want those kind of chain interference and whatever.
My friend,
this, that. Yeah. So once the report goes directly over there, it goes straight to the IGP, and recommendations that have been made. I trust my guy at the professional standard division. Is no boundary. Whoever police officer is in court, police officers have been, has been penalized. Some police officers have been dismissed.
Yeah. Some
police officers have been suspended. Some police officers have even been charged criminally if they are found culpable with regards to these issues when they want to go through investigation based on the recommendation of the inspector.
And when you enter the inner part of the building and the way it's being published, it tells you that the professional standard is the heartbeat of the Inspector General of Police. And imagine coming to lay an officer complaint where you have nowhere to sit.
Nowhere to sit, no space.
So
it means they're not even serious.
You're going to say to yourself that these guys are not serious.
Yeah.
But there's a conference room.
Yeah.
Where investigation takes place, and where different meeting takes place. And I think, like I said, it is the heartbeat of the Inspector General of Police. And to modernize this facility up to standard is a clear indication that this current administration does not entertain police misconduct.
No, exactly. It does not entertain police misconduct. And these officers that are assigned at these places, they are very trained, to police investigation with regards to what. And in fact, that's why we have two aspect area, right? You have the professional standard division, which of course for officer complaint and among civilian, police among police, and you also have the civilian complaint board, which encompasses people outside the jurisdiction of the police. You have the even student representative. You have somebody from the Liberian National Bar Association. They are also part of that board. So even if you are dissatisfied from this point, the civilian complaint board is there.
Yeah.
So have a straight jacket stuff. That's why I ask people who say is Liberia's police state. Sometimes when we're talking about that police visibility discussion, somebody say the president of police. Do you know what a police state is? People don't know. You cannot have a police state wherein you have this kind of modern stuff, this kind of areas that are being meant to be able to set disciplinary measures and challenge police officer
for his conduct.
So it tells you that we are in a civilized jurisdiction wherein police officers are accountability. They are accountable for every other action. What he or she does in the community, on the street, in the performance of his or her duties and responsibility, you are held liable when there is any breach of ethics.
And then we also have the republished forensic laboratory.
Yeah.
And that has been installed with digital fingerprinting system. And that is good so that we can be able to track criminals.
Yeah, I'm told that. Yeah, this is another great achievement. To be frank, Sam, that arcade system. I'm sure that it will be in effect. I'm told that in this January, it will be into full
the first quarter of the year
effect, where members of the public now will be. You can even say it's going to be true. Technology, where you sit and then your entire information is being swept in. You be fingerprinted digitally.
We're going to come there, and that has to do with the police clearance issuance. But I'm talking about how this administration has been able to refurbish the laboratory and also install a digital fingerprinting system. And we are grateful again to the Chinese that made that made it possible for us to upgrade from that manual
stuff
where they had to put their finger all into the ink and what have you. But like you said, in the first quarter of this year, we're going to start to roll out the facility that we are making mention of. Then we completed the basic renovation of the NNP headquarters. And this is something that the public can attest to, especially those who visit the headquarters of the Liberian National Police. And since this building was built nowhere in the 80s, it has not gone under that kind of a massive renovation that this current administration has done. And I think that the Inspector General Coleman has done a wonderful job. Another thing that I never saw when I entered the police is the issue of fire extinguisher being on all of the floor.
Yeah.
And you have seen that for.
Yeah, I think
how important.
you cannot be talking about safety issue
Yeah.
and then you are not, following such principles.
When you are the main institution,
you are the main
safety.
institution to people who are to provide safety. So it tells anybody who come into the building, and you see all of these safety measures being provided. I mean, it means that we are for serious business when you are implementing laws and order within the republic. And when you're telling somebody, say, don't do this, don't do that, you also must be able to have that example, lead by example. So we think that these renovation processes within various departments and sections, I think it's still ongoing. My session will try to input in for some area wherein we can also have some opportunity to have it being renovated.
Yeah.
So we think that to give the entire LMP building a safe live is something that is very commendable, because where you live, where you reside, people come to visit you. I mean, it should be very much, something that at least to be able to show some level of good visibility in terms of the environment, so that people can say, yes, we come to a clean area, a well-painted, a well-structured building, and that will bring about at least, level of sanity within the surrounding of the institution.
This is Police Dialogue. It comes away every Tuesday and Thursday, and today we're discussing the LMP achievements under RGP Gregory O.W. Coleman. We have reached the point of infrastructure development and modernization, and we told you about the digital fingerprinting system and the forensic laboratory, and we also told you about the basic renovation of the LMP headquarters with the installation of fire extinguisher on all of the floors here at the Liberia National Police. And this is one of the biggest things that happened last year. The administration was able to secure funding for the construction of a multi-purpose police station, which will be situated at the Connington University campus. And it's strategically placed at the intersection of St. J and Plateau Town.
Okay.
And that construction work is good. Okay, this is the day that we broke ground. You can see Inspector General Coleman. I'm the one there trying to give the Inspector General the shovel, and so that we can break ground.
Yeah.
And you can see other stakeholders in that photo.
Yeah.
The Senator for Bump County, Honorable Prince Moore, is also there because he's the senator for this county. You also see the president of the university, Connington University, and the representative.
I see the CSS boss is also there.
Eugene Cody is also there. And then you also see the immigration boss. And so the work is currently going on. And one may ask, why are we building a modern purpose police depot or police station on the campus of Connington University? And this I can tell you is, as I speak to you now, we have 40 students on the campus of that university on LMP scholarship. So while they are there, we want them to provide police service for the university and all of the surrounding towns.
Yeah.
Because from Connington to the next police depot has a little distance. So the Inspector General in Wilson told us, why we have the 45 students undergoing their study, their undergraduate studies.
Yeah.
Some of them are police officers. They need to be working while they are there, and they cannot work. And they cannot work
services.
Yeah, they cannot work from their respective classes. So they need somewhere to work. So there are others who are there who are civilian that also form part of that 45. And while they are undergoing their undergraduate study, they will also have the time to go to the police academy. Yeah. So internship is being provided right on the campus of Connington University. So the LMP is proud to announce that they were able to secure funding for the construction of that. And I see as a milestone achievement, especially coming to the point where you have to take civilians, you have to take police officer. And we even have five fire service students there. So I think it was a visionary
step. It's a collaboration and other stakeholders from the joint security. So that's a tremendous move that puts off police and academic, coordination in terms of carrying out our institution higher level. And the IGP have been very far-sighted to have signed MOU with various universities.
Great.
Yeah, I'm sure that he will take it over the also.
Yeah.
Cut it on AMEU, and then I'm sure other universities will form part of it. That will be able to boost the morale of the institution when it comes to academic.
And on a modernization, the Women and Children Protection section also saw their section being renovated.
Yeah.
And the biggest one, one of the biggest one, on a modernization, is the studio. Yeah.
Where we sit.
It's also being captured under the
where we sit
also.
right now.
Yeah.
Is also being captured. So
for public engagement,
public consumption, public engagement. What we are doing is very important for the public. I mean, information sharing. You know, what you do out here to be able to give information is another form of police accountability. That's another form of police information sharing, because it falls within our purview as law enforcement officer to be able to address the public with the necessary information regarding our activities within the Liberian National Police.
Yeah. And this is somewhere in Mangibi County.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the modernization. There is a county for the police station somewhere in Mangibi County. We are grateful. This is where the officers have time off for lunch in the city. So the Inspector General is trying to add dignity to the work that we do, not because we are police officers, because some people believe that police officers are people who are falling short.
Of course.
And they're looking for new opportunities, so the joint police will be harassing people. But the Inspector General is changing that mindset of Liberian towards the Liberian National Police. So this modernization that you're looking at, this structure that you're looking at, is in Mangibi County, right within the compound of the police headquarters, where our officers can take time to have lunch. And we need to throw more emphasis on the importance of this podcast studio that we are in. And sometimes I wonder where the Inspector General took this vision from, because
I think when the IGP go out, visit some of his counterparts in different areas. I mean, you see these things, and I think that's the essence of transformation. You go out and you see things.
And you bring back. Yeah.
Because nowadays law enforcement have changed. They have digressed. They have moved from different stage to another stage. Modernization have, into law enforcement. So we don't want to go back to that arcade day where you have to leave from here, go to some other studio and be asking them, what time or whatever.
We have been paying heavy amount of money
for
private radio station, our own.
So you can just sit here right now and then relay to other stations to be able to give all this information.
Yeah.
And we think that is moving forward, and this is a great one that we can be able to even invite any guests that the LMP will have.
Yeah.
You can even bring the president here. Sure. And be able to give him a treat with regards to what I'm doing.
I think in my mind, this is not intended to not have interaction with the wider media community, but it's just good that sometimes we want to announce, sometimes we have serious information for the public, and we just run into this room and open the door and start to talk to the diaspora community and even to the local community.
Exactly.
So it's a milestone achievement for this administration to have talked on this, to open this studio within the headquarters of the Liberian National Police. We look at it, technological advancement and digital transformation, and under that, the new website, LMP website that was launched, and I think it's also part of community service. Because people need to be informed as to what the police is doing. And so that website is intended to give out all of the necessary pieces of information for the public. If you want to know the number of accident cases per month, you go on the site. You want to know the number of female in the police, you go to the site. You want to know the crime rate, you go to the site. So I think it's another good thing. And they will also develop an online police clearance digital platform. I was privileged to have been in a meeting with the Inspector General when he met the partners, and I have LRA and what have you. So that police clearance digital platform will definitely help to cut down the traffic that we have in this building with people running up and down for police clearance. Because it is structured in a way that all you need to do to have your police clearance is to have a mobile phone where you'll be able to fill your form in, pay your money, your other 200 Liberty from your phone, from your mobile money phone, pay into the LRA.
I think it's just similar to the process with the passport, how you apply passport.
Just like that.
It's just similar process.
So the only thing you're going to do here, you're going to be scheduled. That your interview date is there. And the best thing about it is that as soon as your police clearance reaches the office of the Inspector General,
it doesn't take no time.
As soon as the Inspector General click on the button, you'll receive an alert. Your phone going to alert you that your police clearance is not ready. You can go and pick up your clearance. Exactly. If they have an inquiry, your phone will tell you that your police clearance, the police need to talk to you on certain information that you are given while applying for your clearance. So I think it is very good, the online police clearance and digital platform to be launched. The LRA is a partner in the process, and everything is being done to have it launched in the first quarter of 2026. So between now up to March, we're going to see that being rolled out.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and then we come back to the upgraded internet communication system, and currently in the process of modernization of the National Emergency Response Platform. That's the 911.
The 911.
Yeah. So that aspect also is another achievement, because the issue of the 911 have been an issue for a period of time, with regards to the public trying to give information to our 911 household.
Yeah.
There have been some level of issue. But with the collaboration of the internet communication system, I mean, it make it easy access with regards to communication, with regards to receiving the public, complaints or whatever issue they may have, that it will be very, very looked into when it comes to officer responding.
Police dialogue, and today we're looking at the achievement of the Liberian National Police. Samuel Ford, Assistant Commissioner of Police, is my co-host on this important edition of the Police Dialogue. And we're talking about the technological advancement and digital transformation here at the Liberian National Police. Your police clearance will soon be put online during the first quarter of this year. Between now till March, you have no need to come over here. You're just going to take your mobile phone and fill your form, and probably when they call you for interview, you come and have your interview, and you get your clearance, you go. And then we'll look at training, human capacity building, and professionalization. Under training and human capacity building and the professionalization, we conducted in-service training for 2,000 officers on use of force and firearms requalification, and that was very important.
Yes, very, very important key. Law enforcement, there's an issue what we call periodic training in law enforcement is very key.
Yep.
And to public safety also, because if the officer is being idle-minded, what happens, right?
Yeah.
The men have now gone through some training for a couple of times. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes you even forget some of your training aspect or whatever you. And firearm, which is a last result in your law enforcement approach with regards to the use of force, is very key. There will be some issue of officer using firearm negligently or what have you. So I think for within the LMP purview, the Inspector General of Police been very far-sighted for this number of officers to go through the firearm requalification course. And not only that training, there are also training provision in community policing, human rights, and other things. We want to initiate that training at all levels. The traffic officer, the PSU officer, the ERU officer, they must go through, training of de-escalation, community policing related training, the issue of conflict prevention, mechanism approach, and those are issues how to be able to emotional intelligence, human rights issues, other trainings that are coming up to be able to give up to this officer, so that we can be able to utilize them in our scope of duties and responsibility, because it's very key in protecting the lives of the public. It's very key, because if you look what is happening around, use of force policy to me, in my mind, is different in every aspect.
Yeah.
If you go in the U.S., you saw what happened.
Yesterday, yeah.
If that was happening in Liberia, you look at that use of force, and it been justified.
It's been justified.
That
the officer will be put at risk.
Yeah, and that's the society, right? And that's how we were trained. We were trained by the Americans. We were trained that when you even arrest your suspect, your hair is on your magna, whatever. Yeah. But we need to, straight, because our society have that level of, in terms of how we behave and how what kind of threat is being posed on a daily basis. So at times we have to de-escalate and use persuasive method to be able to reduce
sometimes even using the persuasive method, we lost officers.
Yeah, you lost officers.
Yeah. We look at the organized, the common administration was able to organize the first national seminar on leadership in law enforcement. I think that was good. In-service trainings are very much good. We had the first operational and county command sitting.
Yeah.
It was also good to hear from the county commanders and the regional commanders about some of the challenges that they are going through, some of the successes they have been able to score over the time past. We reconstituted the NMP Policy Management Board.
Yeah.
And are you on that board?
Yeah, I'm on the board. I'm part of the secretariat.
Okay.
On the board as a secretariat. I'm a member of the board, but I'm secretary to the board.
Then we under the year, under review, 30 NMP officers went to do specialized training by the Rwanda National Police, and I believe that was very, very key on the part of the Inspector General. It came as a result of his visit to the Republic of Rwanda and signing an MOU with the Rwanda National Police, and that MOU have come into effect, where we now have 30 NMP officers undergoing specialized training in Kigali. How do you see it for?
Look, that's why I want to commend the Inspector General of Police when it comes to the issue of mobilization, when it comes to the issue of coordination, when it comes to the issue of lobbying, making friends and partnership in the rightful direction that will bring professionalism to an institution.
Yeah.
is what a leader should do. Not to only get for himself, but to be able to fend for the institution as a whole. Because Liberia is all we have.
Yeah.
So now, see that number of officers that have been trained.
Yeah.
2,000 plus, right? Officer, and you're going to go gradually. In fact, it's going beyond at the international level with UNITA.
Yeah, with UNITA.
On the FPU level, where the LMP will be going on mission to be able to serve within the FPU. That modality have been worked on. So it gave a level of professionalism, especially when it comes to the issue of training, because training is one of the essential issues, amongst police officers. Periodic training, going through different kind of training with international support,
the officer will be
coming back to utilize it. And in this training, there are different models when it comes to the use of force, when it comes to officer safety, when it comes to the issue of human rights, protecting the state, protecting the citizen. These are the kind of models of training these guys went on a firearm, how to use force, the level of force, level of resistance. Those are things that people go through when they go through the kind of international training. So when you come back, those training have been utilized. You understand? It brings professionalism within the police.
Yeah, to the institution.
To the institution. And we want to commend the Inspector General of Police for that. And I'm sure there are more to come on it. Even at the level of the Egyptian Police Academy. I came from the Egyptian Police Training Academy. Different types of training on counter-terrorism, the terrorism act or what have you, the community police and human rights. Those are training that we have gone through gradually. And those training are making a significant impact within our policing jurisdiction, and which of course could be very commendable. We know that in every institution, don't get me wrong, that there are some people who will go against the ethics. And that one makes
society also.
Makes society also. Everybody will not be whatever. But the good thing is, what are those mechanisms put in place
to curtail
these acts? Are there mechanisms put in place? Yes, there are mechanisms put in place by this administration to be able to curtail these acts that are perpetrated by officers who go against their ethics and responsibility when it comes to law enforcement.
Yeah.
So those things happen, and gradually we are moving there. We are moving on course, And we can say that at least to a major extent, the Liberian National Police, officers of the Liberian National Police have been very professional, been using their maximum restraint tactics. You saw the video clip with the traffic officer and the madam. That incursion where the officer was exercising his duty and there was intrusion, there was obstruction from a lady. Pointing finger, assaulting the officer.
But you are able to exercise restraint. Kind of restraint.
You understand?
All right, so that is it. We have 30 of our officers and undergoing specialized training in Rwanda, and it came as a result of an MOU entered into by the Inspector General representing the Liberian National Police, and it took less than 6 months after that MOU was signed for us to start to benefit. Right now we have 45 LMP officers. 45 LMP officers are currently enrolled at Connington, and that is good for us also. Yeah, very good. To build the capacity of our officers. Imagine, those officers are not paying their own school fees. The police department is paying for the 45 students at the Connington University, and that is a milestone achievement on the part of the institution. 10 NLP officers due to enroll at the AME University to partake in the 4-year structured development program at the bachelor level. I think that is also good. And the police not only spending money on vehicles, but the police institution is spending money on the officer building the capacity to attend Connington University and also to attend AMEU University. A lot of money. Yeah. A lot of money. And
I think that there's a MOU signed between the LFP and that of those institutions.
Yeah, certainly.
That will be able to give back in terms of what will be, the outcome from these activities, from this program.
Yeah. Currently, we have college graduates. Okay. Yeah. These are the officers from the Liberian National Police in Rwanda. Yeah. And they have been going through training. They had those who did the counter-terrorism training have returned to Liberia. The special forces still remain, and they went for 6 months of training. And I think that is good to help build the capacity of this force. And we're grateful to the Inspector General for entering into this MOU. Like I said, the Inspector General is not thinking about himself. He's not only thinking about those in the political leadership of the police, but he is thinking about what will be, how the police will be after this administration has left. He's thinking about the long-term future of the Liberian National Police. I think we should be able to give that to him.
Yes, I think we should be able to give that to him and to be able to, buttress the effort. I say to everybody, wherever you find yourself, you need to work. You need to work. Don't be worked out because you want to do things. You're going to be noticed. Once responsible, the IGP will not be all over. Similar with the head of state, he's not going to be all over. He gave people task and responsibility.
So when functions are given
to be able to execute their function. People who fail to execute their function, they where the problem lies. And you understand? So if everyone were executing their functions and responsibility in accordance with their terms of reference and mandate, things will go on fine and what have you. And we want to thank the Inspector General of Police for making sure that these things that have been introduced, the lobby went through, and all of those physical, logistical support from partners, the Chinese government, the U.S. government, and other bilateral partners, in making a very huge impact within our policing society.
We look at international peacekeeping and global representation. Yeah. Deploy 16 police officers to the United Nations mission in South Sudan. Advanced discussions and preparation for Liberia's return to contributing on FPU to UN peacekeeping operation.
I spoke about that. UNITA.
UNITA. Yeah. Strengthen partnership with UNITA, UNDP, U.S. Embassy, the RSO, ECOWAS, and international policing. We have some of those pictures where the Inspector General has been meeting with. Okay, this is the time that he went to Ghana.
Ghana. Okay.
Yeah, he had a discussion with the chief of police of the Republic of Ghana. And also in this photo, you can see Honorable William Moriba seated. You can also see, is that Biago? No, is that?
No, not Biago.
It's Colonel Nelson.
Yeah, Colonel Nelson.
Colonel Nelson is in that photo. He also went with the Inspector General.
And Sam, one of the things I admire also with the IGP, the issue of regional security approach.
It is important.
Regional security, architectural approach. That encompasses the issue of organized crime, the issue of drug trafficking, human trafficking, and all these, transnational crime.
Yeah, okay.
To be able to uphold from the regional perspective.
Yeah.
Where in the recent time you just came from Sierra Leone, we have a very good plan and approach with regards to regional approach with security issue. These are germane issues, within the sub-region that the IGP and other security architects are looking at to be able to work collaboratively so that, the issue of these kind of bureaucracies, with regards to protocol and what have you, once these, MOU and memorandum of understanding are signed that meet the security needs within the sub-region, guess what's going to happen? We're going to have this issue of transnational crime be reduced on a significant level.
And one of the things for is that when we went to Sierra Leone and had a discussion with the chief of police of Sierra Leone, one of the things that happened in that discussion was that the two RGB say, hey, you guys go across the table and exchange number. Yeah. Is there some of the things that will happen? I'm not going to take phone to call RGB Como. No. I will let for somebody, you come from the international relation aspect of the Liberian National Police. I would like my corporate people to call you to solve some of the issue. Yeah. And true to it as well, we had a situation about 2 weeks ago concerning one of our officers into Sierra Leone. Yeah. I was the guy being called. Yeah. And all of the assistant inspector general of police were dealing with me directly, not bothering the IG because that is what we discussed.
So you see the level of cooperation to play within the regional cycle with counter security. Yeah. It makes it easier, to be able to communicate and then to be able to get the issue that you want to get in a quick and soft manner within that region.
And he's not only within the region. The next photo are going to tell you that he's outside of the region and also making requests. Here he says in Egypt. Yeah, Egypt. Meeting one of the police chiefs in the Republic of Egypt. Like you said, you benefited from this MOU. Yeah. You can tell me more.
Yeah, I think the Egyptian Academy, in Africa, Egypt, when it comes to the issue of security, they are more like tag. And I respect the academy. Well equipped. Yeah. Versatile professors, from the Egyptian Academy. And I was even told that the Egyptian Academy also offers scholarship for people who want to do master and PhD. Okay. Yeah, for the police. All they need is just a request. I'm sure that all of these, because when the chief was going through, I told him about that. And I think all of those mechanisms were being put in place. So with this kind of approach, to bilateral partners to be able to collaborate, it also strengthens the capacity of the Liberian National Police in terms of capacity building, in terms of academic, in terms of international exposure. It gives rise. Yeah.
And in this photo, I was part of this meeting that took place within the Inspector General office, and there's a bishop from the United States of America. Okay. And that she was excited to see the Inspector General. And one thing she told the Inspector General in this meeting is that she was in one of the vehicles and it was stopped by a police officer. Okay. She was telling the Inspector General about the professional deportment of the officer. And she prayed for the Inspector General and said that God should grant him more wisdom as he lead the Liberian National Police. And she was telling him that she sees the grace of God upon his life in terms of leadership, and he should continue on that path. Okay.
Those are prophetic.
With this dialogue, okay, our friends from the U.S. Embassy, we see Big Steve. He's there, and these are some of the meetings that also take place here on a day-to-day basis when it relates to some of our international engagement. We told you that we have 16 police officers already deployed in Sudan, working, and we have strengthened partnership with UNITA. And the picture on the screen right now has to do with the leadership seminar that we had with the former chief of police for Minnesota in the George Floyd incident. Yeah. And another Federal Ambrose Russell, who is involved with our community policing work, and the Inspector General. These are people who already saw what happened, and when he was the chief of police when George Floyd.
Yeah, that issue was George Floyd issue.
The issue of George Floyd.
Yeah.
More pictures from Accra, where Commissioner Dean is there, and in the company of the Inspector General and the Inspector General of Ghana. We look at strategic partnership, MOU, and institutional cooperation, cross-border and security cooperation.
Very good.
Yeah. We signed a joint communique with Sierra Leone Police to strengthen cross-border crime prevention, intelligence sharing, joint training, coordination, and cyber crime, human trafficking, transnational organized crime, and community policing in border communities.
That's what I was just giving a little tip on with regards to regional security, especially in post-conflict society. You know that Sierra Leone and Liberia have a history of conflict.
Yeah.
So it tells you that we have similar experiences when it comes to the effect of civil war. So when it comes to post-conflict, environment with regards to security, is very cardinal. And you look at transnational crime; those are issues, drug trafficking, human trafficking. Those are cardinal issues right now that speak within the terrain of our situation.
And that is why the Sierra Leone visit was so much important.
Yeah.
So we have signed an MOU with the police department.
That's another great move with regards to regional peace and security.
Because the issue, Sierra Leoneans are arresting Liberians for carrying drugs across their border. We on the side are also arresting Sierra Leoneans for bringing drugs into our country. But the bottom line is how can the two nations fight if they are not united?
Of course.
So this MOU seeks to address coordination, and so we'll be able to fight organized crime and carry on community policing.
Yeah.
And you know that they came to Liberia.
Oh yeah.
You did a presentation, and that was marvelous on your part. Then we look at police to police cooperation. Signed MOU with Rwanda National Police. We made mention of that, training, senior leadership, development, operational support, Egyptian police training and security cooperation, academic and professional development. Yeah, you know about it. Yeah. We signed MOU with Cottington. And we also signed MOU with AME University. There are works ongoing to sign another MOU with Tottenham University and even UMU. So the African Methodist Episcopal University capacity building and scholarship opportunity ongoing, Cottington University scholarship program and institutional collaboration. Fine, he has left the ground. Ongoing MOU under development, slide review, LEPO, protection and enforcement of intellectual property. Yeah. I saw the intellectual property people in this building. They have had 1 or 2 meetings with the Inspector General of Police. They won an MOU between the intellectual property office and the police. Then we also talk about the Liberia Institute of Architecture, professional standards, compliance, enforcement, and public interest protection. Those MOUs are under review as I speak to you. Okay. Road safety partnership. Signed MOU with Road Safety Action International to promote national road safety awareness, reduce traffic injuries and fatalities, strengthen legislation and enforcement, and enhance community education program. I think those are all good things that we have been able to achieve during the year under review. To members of the public, we will soon start to hear from you. I hope the numbers can now be placed on the screen. And the biggest one, I'm saying this is the biggest one because you are here. It has to do with number 8. And community policing and public engagement conducted 10 plus major community engagement across the country. Improve officer appearance and discipline standards, enhancing the public image of the LNP.
Yes. In fact, I think this is understated because we have conducted more than 50 to 100 community engagement, not only in Mosurado County, but in various parts of the other political subdivision. And the issue of community engagement, many people will not know behind the scene.
Yeah.
These things, it reduces, high level of crimes. It brings sanity in communities. It brings about problem solving issues in communities.
Yeah.
And that which, of course, we have been working on the scene, because at the level of the community is where the real issue is. If you want to understand the dynamics of crimes, you want to understand the issues of what is happening, you must go down to the grassroots.
To the grassroots level.
The community level is very key and germane. And I enjoy working alongside with them, because you understand the nitty-gritty of the issues.
Yeah.
You understand the emotion. You understand the high level of issue of sometimes violent issue. How can you be able to de-escalate? How can you be able to combat these issues? So at the level of community, I think we are doing our utmost best in the scrap of limited logistic. Even though we have, but everything will not be enough.
Yeah,
the one you have,
can never be enough.
You have to work alongside with it. So we're doing well within our domain.
Yeah.
Across the county.
Hold the line.
Not only in Liberia. in Montserrat.
So let's go to the line and hear from some of the individuals that are following us. Good afternoon, Mr. Blake.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Collins. How do you do today?
I saw your comment, and I guess you're following us from Grand Asano County.
Exactly.
What is your input?
Well, I first of all want to appreciate your studio guest for such a wonderful explanation in his insight when it comes to leadership.
The man wrote change you, the man are co-host.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, so I appreciate the effort in explaining the role of leadership when it comes to from the Liberia National Police perspective. First of all, I want to also extend my deepest thanks and gratitude to Reverend Coleman, Inspector General of Police, for your high level of insightfulness when it comes to his insight in leadership. So as I speak, I think I feel very much committed to the job, and that I've been given, and other officers have been given a level playing field to contribute immensely to the growth and development of the LNP. And in my role as a Deputy Commissioner for Criminal Investigation, I have been placed on a lot of committees. I work along with other junior officers, line managers, and to make the task to be very much inclusive of the effort of everyone. So I think that is commendable. Like you saw my comment, and leadership is where everyone feel committed, everyone feel that they have been given responsibility to contribute, and that's the kind of leadership I'm seeing now in the leadership in the head of the institution.
Yeah, we are looking at some of the accomplishment of the Liberia National Police through the leadership of the Inspector General, and one of the things that we have here is the signing of MOU with various police organizations like the Salvadorian Police, the Ghanaian Police, and the Rwandan Police, and even academic institutions. What do you make of it, and how does the NLP benefit?
So at this point in our modern dispensation, it is policing, like RG always states, policing is about accountability. It's about building relationship with the community, not only with the community, with other institutions. So given the fact that the leadership of the LNP has signed a lot of MOU with this institution, including other police organizations, it's commendable. Like President, I'm on a committee working along with the Sierra Leone Police to establish the MRU Chief of Police. So that is good. And I also follow the issue with the administration engagement with the Cotton University, the AMEU. I've hosted a lot of students for AMEU on the RG arrangement, where we take them on the basis of internship. They have learned a lot. And also, it's also commendable when I see the engagement with LNP with our Rwandan counterparts. I think the police is getting somewhere under the leadership of Inspector General Como.
Do you care to comment on the expansion of our fleet and how it benefits the LNP?
Yeah, basically in security, when it talks about security, it's not just the manpower. security for on 3 basic payload. We talked about the human resource. We talk about equipment, and we talk about the logic, which is training. So given the fact that one of those payloads is going at an increase in terms of fleet, and I think it's commendable. We see a lot of police vehicles. We now in the CSD, we are able to move on an emergency based on crime scene, on follow-up. I think that is a good sign. And given the fact that we are now trying to work on our digital database system, where we have a server being donated by the Chinese, I think it's also commendable.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your input.
Thank you, Mr. Colley. You are welcome always.
Okay. You listen to him for.
Yeah, and I think he spoke well to the point. You know, the issue raised with regards to all of those, transformational progress with regards to MOUs, with regards to training, with regards to influx of fleet vehicles and what have you. And yes, he hit the main nail on it in terms of leadership.
He even made mention of having some of the students from the AMA University undergoing internship as a result of the relationship that we have with the AME University. So you can call us on 077 0800 163 077 0800 163, or you can send us a WhatsApp message, or you can call us by way of WhatsApp so that your thoughts or your suggestion can be taken seriously here on the Police Dialogue. The Police Dialogue is here on every Tuesday and Thursday, and today we're looking at a very important point here, going through the achievement of the administration, which is very, very key. We'll talk about fleet management and the expansion of our fleet. We're talking about national security, public safety, and election support. You know, we had 2 by-election in Nimba and Grand Jida County. Those elections went in a peaceful manner. We'll also talk about that. And we'll talk about the construction of 2 new police depots in Yagbetown, not Yagbetown, Tuetown. And I will also talk about the reintroduction of the ambulance service to enhance emergency response. That is very, very key, not only for police officers. We made mention of infrastructure development and modernization, all under the watch of the Inspector General of Police. We'll talk about international. Let me take this call. Hello?
Good evening.
Your name, how are you? Your name and where you calling from?
Yes, sir. My name is Alice Cooper Sumi, and I call from Nima County, Sani Kode City.
How you doing? How is Sani Kode?
Well, Sani Kode is doing relatively kind this evening from my end.
Okay, great. What are your concerns?
Yeah, I just want to speak to first of all, I want to greet DCP for he's my former boss.
Okay.
When I was in the Liberian National Police, especially with the Community Policing Services section. He's also mentored me, and I trust him edited. I just want to speak to a few things. For me, I just want to applaud the police RG or the entire police administration, on RG Gregory Coleman, because we see a lot of progress being made over the short period, especially when it comes to the logistics, that is the vehicle. Because even when I was in the community services section, even Chief Ford himself didn't have even a motorbike. I remember he had one old taxi, and sometimes he uses vehicle to get to crime scene, to get to communities, to do a lot of things. But I mean, the few times I'm seeing a lot of new, vehicle, marked police vehicle, and I believe that with that getting to the communities will not be a problem anymore. Even though, like he said, according to him, he was saying that it's something that they still need more, but at least for now, there are some increasement when it comes to vehicle, especially logistics within the Liberian National Police. Even besides that, with all of what you explained, discussing about the cooperation between the Liberian National Police and the Sierra Leonean Police, the Rwandan Police, these are all good methods, that will help to coordinate crimes or activities within the West African belt. So I'm so impressed. Even though I'm not in the police anymore, but I've been following the police activities, and I'm so impressed by the leadership style of Eric Como and all of his lieutenants.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We hope that you can keep following the police dialogue and share the show to have a good number of people are getting the information that we're sharing from Monrovia.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll just share it. I will do just that. I'm always following, and I will ensure that the message reach out to the loops and corners of my country, and even Liberia as a whole.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Your code is paying back.
Yeah. A colleague of mine, and then he's one of my strong officers. And today he's a commissioner in one of the commissioners at the labor.
Okay.
Yeah, he worked with the labor ministry.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's a former police officer.
He's a former police officer.
Okay.
Energetic and strong, and he was also sent to Egypt, where he did a very tremendous work there in terms of academic. He came back with an award.
Okay.
Yeah, from the Egyptian Police Academy.
Very great.
Yeah.
I think those things that he wanted to see in the Liberian National Police, those things are being on display here right now. And so he still feels part of the police department.
And one thing I'd like to say, you know, the police, people say that some of them use police stepping stool, but most of our colleagues, even those who are in America today, the police will always make impact in wherever you go. Whether you find yourself in as a commissioner, he understands the dynamics of law enforcement. He practical license. In fact, it gave him more weight. You understand? Even our colleagues who are all in the diaspora, they are all making progress, and that they will always be mentioned with the training from the Liberian National Police.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
nothing is lost.
Anything has to do with law enforcement in an institution that you work, and your people know you to be a former policeman, they will consult you. Can we have some comments coming up? Can we have some comments coming up? We need to hear from some of our people. What they think, what they believe that we can change here, and whether they appreciate some of the changes, some of the achievements that we made mention of here on the Police Dialogue. We've been looking at the achievement of the Inspector General of Police and his leadership. This show is being co-hosted by ACP Samuel Ford, and I'm grateful to have him on board. And so that together we can be able to carry on this rebranding process of the Liberia National Police. And Ford, I think the Police Dialogue is reaching far and wide. A lot of commendation coming in. We're also grateful for the older show on this podcast, that's the Morning Rush. And the guys are doing a marvelous job also. I think it is good. We are now telling our story. Because like I always told people, if you fail to tell your story,
people will say for you.
Somebody will say for you. You may not like it. Leadership is the ability to create an environment where everyone knows what contribution is expected and feels totally committed to doing a great job. I feel involved and inspired with the leadership of the organization. It comes from a regular tester here on this program. And I cannot agree with him more, but leadership should be diverse. Everybody should be involved. Give people their role. Give people their role to play. And we have, did I see Brown Sugar? Okay, Rossi, Brown Sugar. She's a tough fan of the Police Dialogue. Good job, and she said she's following. And some of the things that we are doing here today, some of our colleagues don't know. And now they have the ability to at least to be informed about what the Inspector General is doing. Lofty, Hardy, Fever, whoa, you guys are actually doing well. Thank you, Lofty. Thank you so much. And you always follow this show. Musa Kane Kamara, I'm following from Jakarta, Amagashi community. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Ambassador Francis Ziama, Otman Ziama, decentralization is key. Everything should not only be in Monrovia. You are right, and I showed that some of the achievement that we're talking about here is not only in Monrovia, but across the country. Thank you so much. You have genuine concern.
That decentralization, man, I know what he's talking about, when it comes to the issue of the logistics, you don't want for it to be central around Monrovia.
Okay,
we'll come to the leeward.
Yes, sure. I'm watching from my home in Caldwell. How is Caldwell this evening? Thank you so much for joining the program. Papi S. Kieta, good evening, LMP. Liberia from Duboro. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Alice Cooper Somi, watching from San Quentin City, Nima County, Bravo, to the RGP and all men in blue for the level of professionalism exhibited over the short period of time. Thank you also. Okay, I think we had a wonderful time for.
Yeah.
You do agree with me? We had a wonderful time.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time. Thanks to
okay.
What's your closing statement?
Well, I think all have been said. And we will continue to do more under the leadership of the Inspector General of Police. Like we said, this is order for Liberia. It's not individual, glorification. We are doing it for the uplifting of our dear country. Mama Liberia, the men in blue, we continue to sacrifice, to be able to work for the Liberian people. And all of the officers, we want to congratulate them because the IGP will not be successful with this achievement without, the men who are on the field, those who are doing the job, those who are, up and down, working for public safety, responding to calls from the community. So it's laudable in that direction. And we want to extend our high appreciation to the leadership of the Liberian National Police. Leadership is key. In one aspect, when it comes to unity, and I admire the leadership of the LMP, that one aspect, the IGP, who is the arrowhead, is being, is leading and other follow suit. And you see that unison, you see that unity, amongst the hierarchy within the Liberian National Police. And that's the first aspect, because if you have a divided group, people with different, you will not be able to achieve. You will not be able to achieve, because the goal for which you want to achieve in something will be more like hindered because of one or two, different opposing view. So leadership is about teamwork, it's about, giving responsibility to the people onto what they're supposed to be doing, and then it goes on smoothly because we are all fighting for a one goal and aspiration for the Liberian people. And remember, we are working for the Liberian people.
And that is public services. That is public administration.
Yeah.
Other people must be able to play their role.
Everybody play their role.
Yeah, everybody should play their role.
If you don't want to play a role, then you're out. Yeah. I think that is no key for people. If you don't want to play a role,
any leader that want to play the role, everybody, that leader will feel.
Yeah.
That leader will feel, because leaders should be able to make another leader. Leaders make followers.
Yeah.
And your followers must be able to have that kind of a respect for you, because you are given the opportunity to work.
Serve. Yeah.
But if you take all the work and put on your head, you get overburdened. Yeah. And the next thing you come down with stress and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay, so today we have been looking at the achievement of the Inspector General and his leadership here at the police department. This is the Police Dialogue. Thanks to all of our engineers, sound engineers. Thanks for making this program successful. Thanks also to Ford, who sat in as a co-host on this edition of Police Dialogue. Tomorrow we'll have a special edition of this program, and we'll be hosting the officer in charge of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. We'll be looking at the status of the drugs war in Liberia. Are we winning the war, or our backs against the war? DCP Biago will be here from 5 to 6 o'clock tomorrow, and he will be telling us some of the achievements that he has been able to make within the last 3 months. Sam Collins is my name. Thanks to all of those who commented. Thanks to all of those who viewed the show. And even thanks to those that will be viewing the show after the show. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LMP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights and the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue.